Hey, what's up? This is Scott with Level Up Tutorials, and in this video I'm going to give you a tour of GitLab CI. So let's get going on that now. So basically what I want to do in this video is just show you around GitLab, because it's different than GitHub, it's different than Bitbucket, it's probably different than what you've used before unless you have used GitLab before. If we click on the head up here, you can see that this is the sort of main page, right? This is very similar to maybe what you'd see on a GitHub where you have your projects. Maybe we have your starred projects where you can star other people's projects and you can explore projects. So just like something like GitHub or Bitbucket, you have like trending and most stars and all sorts of stuff like this. Now, considering this is sort of a private system, right? You know, you might be inviting other people to be on it, maybe coworkers. Maybe you all are sharing your own projects or your open source projects within your team, or even your open source projects outside of your team. But as you can see, it all just depends on how much you want to open this up. We already have one repo here. We just named it test, and it already has this little T next to it here. So this is the main screen, is just your projects. Now next we have to-dos, which is a basic sort of to-do list where you can attach things to any individual project, any individual author. And this is just a sort of basic to-do list. What you're not seeing here is a add to-do. That's because these to-dos sort of come with issues, and if you assign an issue to somebody, it's going to show up in their to-dos. So this is to-dos. When an issue or merge request is assigned to you, or basically when you're mentioned in a comment, it's going to add a notice in your to-do list, which you'll be able to just simply mark done without actually having to comment on it, or you can click to see more information. So we'll see more with to-dos in a minute. Activity. So next we have the activity feed, and this is going to be similar to like what you would expect with an activity feed on GitHub, where basically anything that happens, whether push events, merge events, comments, stuff with your team, is all going on within your projects or any projects that you may start. You will have access to it in a long list of events. Now next we have groups, which is where you'll be able to add groups that can then have permissions to access certain repos. Now under milestones, we can create a new milestone, which essentially be like release candidate. Okay, and then you can give this some information. We're going to give this a due date of April 30th and click create milestone. So this milestone is now created, and when we head to the next thing, which is issues, we can create a new issue. Let's just say fix bug, and I'm not going to go too in depth here because I'll do another video on issue creating, but we can actually assign this to a milestone. Click submit issue, and if we head back to milestones, you'll notice that we now have this issue is listed as an open issue under the current milestone, and the more issues that you complete under a particular milestone, this percentage complete will progress here. So this is really nice and powerful. I love using milestones and issues with GitLab. It's really nice to be fully organized of this stuff. Now merge request, like you would expect, is going to be where any merge request for any of your projects is going to show up. Now one thing you want to be cognizant of is this left-hand toolbar up here. You'll notice that this is what it looks like when we're at the root here. When we're actually in a project, you'll see there's some navigation stuff happening that shows that these same tabs, such as issues, merge requests, and milestones, all that stuff is for a particular project. This is not one. Now, snippets is going to be where you could just add snippets. You can add code snippets, and they can just be sort of whatever you want. And you can even add code highlighting for like naming a file. So .rb will give it some Ruby code highlighting. And now I mentioned before that this toolbar over here will change when we're into a project. Let's actually select our administrator test project. So as you can see here, just like we had in our dashboard, we have an activity feed, we have some continuous integration tools, and we have milestones, we have issues, merge requests, we have members, which you can add particular members, other members into your group. We have labels where you can generate and create new labels for your issues. We have wiki, where you can have a Git powered wiki here, where you can even have Git access. As you can see, you can clone your wiki and edit it that way through Git. So that's pretty sweet that the whole wiki is all done through Git as well. So you don't have to be typing in these text boxes in Markdown the whole time. You can do it on your computer. And we also have forks. Okay, so this is the project. We have the dashboard. Now let's check out one more way that we can view GitLab. Now, GitLab is pretty dense in terms of amount of pages and things to see and do. So you might be wondering, well, where's all the administrative tools? I'm the administrator, right? Well, what we're looking for is this wrench up here, which is admin area. We can select this and it's going to take us to the admin area. You'll notice once again, this bar looks very similar, but it's slightly different. Personally, the fact that this doesn't change that much is a little confusing to me personally. I'd rather this changed color, or I had some major large indicator that we're in a different sort of system now, or in a different setting here. However, as you can see, this is the admin area, where we can quickly create a new project, new users, we can have a new group, and we can actually see all of our projects from an administrative standpoint. You can destroy them, you can search for them, you can look for them based on activity. You can see all of the users we have. For instance, we just have one admin. And you can see we have some filters here. You can filter by external, people that are blocked, people without projects, admins, or just simply active users. You can even use this search bar. We can add groups. We can create a new group and manage users that way. I'll be doing a whole video on that. Deploy keys is where you want to have your public keys. Runners, which is something we'll go over soon. Builds, again, something we'll go over soon. Logs is where you're going to have your application log, your Git host log, sort of any logs that you need to check out. Messages is where we're going to have broadcast messages, where you can broadcast a message for every single user to see. So we could say, hey, do this, or if you have multiple users, to say new version coming this date or something, or downtime at this point, just to let people know. You can even customize the color to make it a scary message with red, or a peaceful message with blue or something. And we also have hooks. Or as you can see, system hooks can be used for binding events when GitLab creates a user or project. We have background, jobs, we have appearance, which is where you can add your own logo, your own title, your own description. And this is for the sign up page, and this is for the navigation bar itself. So this is really nice. It gives you a nice little customization to make this truly yours. In addition, we have applications, which isn't something we'll be covering. And we also have service templates. We even have a Slack service template. We can do things like sending notifications to our Slack channel, which is something I'll be covering as well. We also have labels, where you can create labels for issues that get reused and reused and reused on every project instead of having a per project label. And lastly, we have abuse reports, where we can see any sort of reports our users are having. Now, these are some of these tools are going to be useful or not useful to you depending on how many people are working within your own private GitLab. If it's just you and a couple of people, then you probably won't have abuse reports. But let's say you have this set up to be a little bit larger of a team, or maybe people that you might not even know working and stuff, then abuse reports could definitely come in handy. Okay, so this is GitLab. This is all of it. And, this stuff may change because web development changes frequently, but as you can see, this is what it is right now. And if we want to hide this toolbar, we can always push this over here. Let's say if you memorize these icons or you want to hover over them to have a little bit more sleek experience, this sort of standard tool dash bar layout is pretty common, so it shouldn't feel too weird to you. So in the next video, what we're going to do is add our SSH key to our account. And we're actually going to push up a project in here so that we can see exactly what this looks like when we have a project in it. So as always, this is Scott with Level Up Tutorials. If you want access to the rest of these GitLab videos before they're released on YouTube, head to store.leveluptutorials.com and purchase this series for digital download. Or you can sign up for a subscription to Level Up Pro and get early access to all of these videos right now. So as always, this is Scott with Level Up Tutorials. If you have any questions or comments, leave a comment in the video. Hit me up at Twitter or Facebook at Level Up Tutorials. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.